Welcome to Reality Check with the Adolphs.
And we're the Adolphs.
I'm Willie Adolph.
And I'm Tikila Adolph. In today's episode, we're interviewing a special guest. She's the owner of the OnPoint Network, Minister Delendra TarsaVena. We'll be right back after this commercial.
Husband and wife, partners in life, family and business.
Through the ups and downs, we've overcome. God as a witness.
From the household of faith to real estate to what's happening now.
We've got something to talk about. So for the next few moments, please allow us
to bring you something you can feel.
It's time for the real talk about real life. Nothing but real. Wanna tell the truth, it's on the side. Let's be real. Join in, tell your friends. 'Cause every now and then we all need a reality check
With the Adolphs.
Welcome back to Reality Check with the Adolphs.
And don't forget to follow us on all of our social media channels. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. But on Reality Check with the Adolphs on our Facebook channel, we have a question of the week. And this week's question is, what is your biggest pet peeve?
Oh, man. Smacking. I know sometimes the food is good, but let's keep it to a minimum. Like,
Oh my goodness, and I do it all the time.
so that's why we eat mashed potatoes. we eat soup. No, because sometimes
I don't slurp on my soup.
she tried to get the flavor. You're right.
Anyway, my pet peeve is trash. I hate trash being overflowed or just sitting there. When you finish, just throw it away. So, yeah, trash.
Smacking. For no reason. No reason at all.
Anyway, let's just hear what our Facebook community said. Number one. Oh, this is a good one. Can you read?
Someone who lies and gets mad because you don't believe them.
Oh my God, isn't that crazy?
You're like, you don't believe me?
Why are you lying?
For no reason.
For no reason. Don't even ask for it. Next one. People leaving the cabinets open. I don't know.
Close them.
Yeah.
Get what you got to get. And
That's like leaving the refrigerator open too.
oh yeah, yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, because you got to throw everything away in about 2 or 3 hours. Everything's going to get all ooey and gooey.
Yes.
Where they say slime in the ice machine.
Oh, you telling your age. Because a lot of people don't remember that.
I seen it on TV.
Stupidity. Yeah.
I'm not saying nothing. My mama told me if I don't got nothing nice to say, don't say it at all.
People who waste time. Oh my goodness. Consideration. People who smile in your face and talk behind your back. Oh,
You know how many people that is?
a lot. Yes. Someone belching or coughing openly without covering their mouths. Oh, that even now people still and I was like grateful for the mask because when they belch or yawn or whatever and then don't say excuse me.
Yeah.
That got to be the killer one right
Wait
there.
till you're in the elevator and do it.
then you have to worry about a fart.
See, there you. Why are you taking it to the whole? Oh man.
Yes, I took it all the way there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one.
People who want to skip ahead and lie.
Oh my
Now,
God.
I get it if you're with someone and you came with them at the same time and you had to leave and come back.
Or if you drop them off, park your car, and then got on the line with them.
I got that. But for somebody to just,
Hey, Willie, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Can I get there?
Going back.
I gotta go.
Or on the line in the car too.
Oh, when you're in traffic.
Yes. You see everybody getting over, but you want to speed up to get in front of everybody. We all waiting in line.
Yeah. Well, it is what it is.
Oh. You want me to say it? Okay, so someone said when men leave the toilet seat up. But then I say when women leave the toilet seat down.
Well, that's somebody's pet peeve.
That's somebody's pet peeve, but not in our household. Because when I get off the toilet, I let the toilet seat up. Because I got to wash my hands anyway. Duh. So every time he comes out the bathroom,
I put it down because I got to wash my hands anyway.
So we never fall in the toilet.
I don't think I can fit in the toilet.
Now, if you sitting on the thing without no toilet seat, we got more than just some pet peeve issues.
That mean that toilet seat broke.
Toilet paper empty on the roll. Nasty ladies peeing on the restroom seat. We got some bathroom issues here.
I don't know.
Passive aggressive behavior. People licking their fingers to touch papers. And people eating and spilling food on paperwork and then handing it to you. We got some nasty people out there, y'all. Don't forget to catch us on all of our social media channels at Reality Check with the Adolphs, the TV show. We're also on YouTube. We'll be right back after this commercial.
Bring on the day. Trusting in God's instructions. Bring on the day. Conversations with Willie and Tikila. Time to bring on, bring on, bring on, bring on, bring on, bring on, bring on the day.
Are you ready to learn how to communicate with each other to discover your strengths and weaknesses that will complement each other towards your new and successful career? Are you ready to have a chance of creating an enjoyable and successful lifestyle with the one whom your soul loves?
Reach out to us today and we will help you get started with couple bonding in business at www.couplesinbusiness.com. Welcome back to Reality Check with the Adolphs.
And today we have special guest, owner, founder of the OnPoint Network and OnPoint Studios, Minister Delendra TarsaVena. Welcome and thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Well, we're just excited because we're actually on the OnPoint Studios in Linden, Alabama, which is is it south of Selma? Because we drove from Montgomery.
It's south of Selma, yeah.
Okay, so I know.
She knows.
I know directions.
Hey, let me make it real easy. It's down a long pasture.
Don't do it.
It would seem like we in the country.
He said pasture. He didn't even say road.
Well, I tell you what, it was the most relaxing trip, even the car ride.
Right.
From coming in, and it's just the whole feeling of Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I read in your bio that you're from Alabama, and you grew up in Selma. Can you tell us a little bit about your upbringing?
Oh, upbringing. Oh my God. Yeah. So those of you who know me know you just don't understand having 3 brothers, a dad, and a mom who are all in ministry. Because my mom's father was a minister, and my father. I couldn't wear pants. I could not wear pants.
Southern Baptist.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
Or is it Pentecost?
Well, no, I could wear them later. Like I guess. I don't know. I never asked. I was just like, okay.
Just did what you was told.
Yeah, so I couldn't wear. I didn't wear pants till I got in high school. So, and when I first got my first pair of pants, it was like, oh God, where have I been my whole life? So yeah, it's that kind of household. But at the same time, it was like the Cosby Show in my house. We were always playing around, pranking on each other, and janking is what we used to call it back in the day. You know, talking about each other. And I got got some tough skin for my brothers, you know. But
So you're the baby?
Oh yes, ma'am. I'm the baby.
Oh wow.
So yeah, I used to either get beat up or talked about. They loved me though, cause they would do tea parties with me. But you know.
Wow. And you said that everybody's in ministry.
Well, it seems that way because when my brothers aren't like in ministry, my father thought they would be. But when I said everybody was in ministry, pretty much because of Dad, we were in ministry. Wherever he went, we had to go.
Oh yeah, I remember those days.
Yes.
Just get up and go.
Everybody had to
There's
go.
no questions, no.
And then you had something to do. So you're a singer.
Yes. Yes.
And what did everyone else do?
Oh, my brothers can sing too now. They
Wow.
now they started the whole thing. Like my mom's family actually had a singing group. So that's how everything started. And I laugh and tell people all the time, my grandmother, she used to be the bass on some boom, 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 boom. And I used to just be so tickled when we would come see her and her group sing. But my brothers would play the piano and they would go to practice and come home and practice at home. And I would go right behind them and play everything they just played. And they was like, Mom, it's not fair that she didn't go to practice and get beat up at practice because the teacher would hit them on the hand. So eventually,
Wow.
yeah. So eventually my mom put me in the piano lessons when I was 12, but I had got the cool teacher, Miss Susie Hildreth. She was the sweetest thing ever. So it was just a difference. Like all of us do the same things, but every one of us excel in different things.
Wow.
So yeah.
That's good. And then so you were in ministry with your family and you were singing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I read that you got married and had children and was part of a singing group. So can you expand on that?
Well, yeah, you kind of
Moving
pulling both.
all-
Yeah,
yeah,
kind of
so-
pull both. Yeah.
But just, I'm trying to go through everything
Oh,
because
yeah,
I
I
want to pull
understand.
everything out.
Yeah.
This is special to have. I mean, you know, we're really honored
Oh, no,
to have that you
have
took
you
time
guys.
out for us, but
Right.
we understand that you have this whole network with movies and TV shows and stuff. So we're just trying to pull and see.
See the all what started it all.
Yes.
Well, yeah, I did get married. I got married very young. Of course, my mom was like, "Girl, don't you get married, get finished with college. You don't never know how the man do." And I was like, "Mom, I've seen." So we didn't even tell my parents we were married until we were married. And here I am walking in the house. My mom's like, "You sure are getting big?" Yeah, I was. I was pregnant. And so my mom was like, "Oh, we finna have a wedding because we want nobody thinking that you got me." I was like, "Mama, I'm married. That's just 10 people I'm married." So we had to have a wedding while I was big going down the aisle. And I think like a week later I had my daughter. So that's how big it was. Yeah.
Wow.
So a week later I had my daughter. And I miscarried between my kids and ended up having my son. And that marriage just wasn't for me. I guess when he was more nervous about who I was than realizing that I loved him. Because I was touring overseas, singing opera, doing different things while I was in college. Because when I had my kids, I went back to college to finish. And it just kind of scared him. And later on, he said to me, he apologized, and he was like, everything that we went through was because I was scared. I was scared that you were not going to be there for me, you was going to leave me. And one thing I think people need to understand in relationships, and I know you guys will attest to that just because one person might be doing more than the other one doesn't mean that person is going to leave you or love you less. They love you for who you are. Mm-hmm. So, you know, your insecurities can break a marriage fast. So we ended up getting divorced, and I ended up in the process of divorce part, I met my second husband. We were friends for a long time, and we ended up getting married. He became my kid's dad. Like my daughter still goes around him like every day. So that's the singing part, the group part. My second husband and his brother and I formed a group called Hog Pen. Don't ask me. Hog Pen, yeah, no.
Okay, and what type of music was that?
We did everything. We literally did everything because I did everything. They mostly did singing and rapping. So by the time we all joined everything together, it was just a mix of everything. And we said you in that hog pen because we would look their father raised hogs and he had a farm. So we would look at the house and be like, you know, they eat together and do everything together. So we was like, okay, we can get people to get the mindset of working together and eating together, then we can have. But at the same time, when you look at the Bible, this is a different story. We wasn't thinking like that. You know, we was thinking towards what they were doing, but the Bible tells you how hogs are and how you shouldn't, you know. So we was like, we didn't realize that we were putting ourselves in a predicament that we didn't realize, like, okay, we want to eat together and be together, but at the same time, we're putting ourselves in the depths of a pit. And that's what ended up happening with that group. We ended up just falling apart because my dad said to us, because before we got the studio, we had a mini mall. And my dad came in to help fix a wall and stuff. And he said to all three of us, he said, all three of you are called into the ministry. And he said, if you don't accept it, you're going to go crazy, you're going to be brokenhearted, and you're going to have nothing.
Wow.
Yeah. And it literally started happening. It started happening. Love is something I've always thought. You know, there's a part of me that I love people. It broke me. Love broke me. Like he said, my brother-in-law started going crazy. Like, he's still running from his calling. He started doing drugs and losing his mind. It's like, you were like, okay, God, can he find himself? My ex-husband, has nothing.
And still won't go.
When I would tell people all the time, you can't allow the devil to make you. The devil will give you a facade, and he feels that where he is in life is helping people. You can't be helping people when you're doing just as wrong. You're not. You're helping the devil to help them to do what he wants them to do. So as long as he's getting what he wants, and as long as he feels like he's telling people, oh, God will do this for you, he feels like that's where he's supposed to be. God is not going to put you in a predicament that's going to keep you in a lifestyle that is not pleasing to him. What he wants you to do is correct that lifestyle so you can show others, I got out of that situation. He's not seeing that. So he is stuck. He's stuck. So, and I'm open about that because we talk about it all the time.
Wow. That's, because the name by itself is kind of like, really? And then I sit there and say, what? Harmony of God.
Mm-hmm.
You always have acronyms.
Hey, they're acting, HOG, Harmony of God.
But see, that's not what we was coming out with.
It was all pins.
In that hall pen.
In the hall pen.
And we had people saying it. Like, we had got to the point we were going everywhere, performing and singing and opening up for different people. And they was like, you in the hall pen? They just in there yelling and they didn't even know what they were saying. I was like, and when I started looking at the Bible, I was like, Lord, we put people in the pit too. Lord help us. We got folks slopping. We got folks slopping. We didn't know it.
Get everybody all happy.
Yeah, eating slop. What we doing?
Y'all had no little call like, yeah.
No, we didn't do all that.
Okay.
You'll go all the way left with the country thing.
We wasn't that country now. We was country, but we wasn't that country.
No way.
Everywhere we went, people was like, y'all so country? We were like, yeah, but we ain't that country. We wasn't that country.
Okay, I get it. I get it. So, if you say so, I believe you.
All right, so we'll be right back after this commercial, and let's find out what happens when she goes into ministry. We'll be right back.
The Adolph Group at Equity House Properties. We provide residential, commercial leasing apartment locating. We provide consulting on home buying, home selling, and credit restoration. We help with private investments through All Faith Investment Corporation. Contact us now, the Adolph Group at Equity House Properties. We make real estate your reality.
Hi guys, we're Willie and Tikila Adolph.
Oh yeah.
And what do we do?
Man, we do real estate, credit restoration, concierge service.
I feel Mary Kay. We're ministers. We do marriage counseling.
And we have 2 TV shows, Reality Check with the Adolphs and Bring on the Day.
Hey guys, get to know us at
www.theadolphgroup.com.
Welcome back to Reality Check with the Adolphs.
And on today's episode, we're having a special conversation with Minister Delendra TarsaVena. Welcome back.
Yes, ma'am.
And so we had the conversation about your upbringing, singing. Now we want to talk about ministry.
Okay.
Your father just said, you need to be in ministry.
Mhm.
And then you probably was like, I'm not doing that because I don't want to go back to the dresses. So what made you accept your calling and move forward?
It's kind of funny because I don't think my father, I said my daughter, but I don't think my father realized that he even said that. Because when I did accept my calling, he was in shock. Like, people don't understand, the Holy Spirit will take you over. Mm-hmm. And at that time, the Holy Spirit had to have taken him over for him to say that. I knew when I was younger that I was called to some type of ministry. I just didn't know what it was, and I know I did not want it. So hey, D was looking for the thuggiest people to be around. I was looking for the thuggiest person to marry, to make sure I wasn't gonna marry a minister, I wasn't gonna date a deacon, none of that stuff. So I knew, because I had that, it was like people were telling me, and then my grandfather, my mother's father, had already told me. He was like, yeah, I know you've been having them dreams. And I was like, I'm tired of y'all old folks telling me stuff and know what y'all talking about. Mm-hmm. So he was like, you just gonna have to accept. And I was like, Papa, I'm not accepting anything. So when I did go into the college, I told my dad, and he was just like, I thought I was gonna be one of your brothers. Well, Daddy, no, it's me. And I was like, you don't even remember saying what you're saying? And he was like, no, I don't.
Wow.
So, because the whole process of going into it, of the fighting, my ex-husband and I, we were touring. We actually had signed a male wages record label. We were touring with him. We were writing music for Southern Soul artists, writing stuff for major rappers, and we were just out in the road having fun. And something happened that we ended up coming home. And when we came home, it was like the floodgates of hell opened up. Everybody else couldn't see what was going on, but I was going through it. My husband, we came home. God gave us this amazing blessing because we was actually sleeping on the floor at his parents' house, and I'm sitting here thinking to myself, why are we sleeping on the floor when y'all have an extra bedroom? It was like I was going through it, and then from there, I asked my dad because they had an extra house, and I was like, well, Dad, can we move in? Because this is what's happening. And he was like, well, if your husband's not working, he can't live there. Okay, God.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, well, me and the kids gonna move in. Me and the kids moved in, and of course, my husband
came
what
by.
I'm saying. Mm-hmm. So my dad was like, I know you're coming over there. You can't come over there until you get a job. And I was like, yes, sir. So I started looking for a house. We were blessed to find a house. We paid $1,000 down, straight blessing. But in the midst of doing that, of moving and fixing the house, he was never home. Like, he would come home maybe 2 or 3 hours at a time. And I was like, I couldn't figure out what was going on. And I thought maybe he was upset because of the music. We had to come home and we had to start recording ourselves, and we were still signed to a male wages record label. And the things we wanted to happen wasn't happening. I didn't really care about Southern Soul, so I was cool, but he wasn't. And so it got to the point I was being harassed by women online. It was the same woman. Mm-hmm. Actually, and I actually wrote a book about it. So in the book it tells everything of how I was literally harassed. And it got to the point where I called my dad one day and I was crying, and he was like, look, whatever it is, just write it down every day. He was like, because I can't deal with you crying. He said, I'm about to kill somebody. It's like, I can't deal with it. He said, but whatever it is, God is pushing you to where you need to be. He said, so just listen to God. And one day I was in my house, and my kids were gone to their father's house. And I was in my house, and I was like, what's going on? My door just burst open. And I'm in the bed sleeping. At the time, because we were fixing the bedroom, the bed was in the front room, and my door burst open. I'm like, what in the world? I closed it back, laid it back down, and did it again. So I called my husband, no answer, nowhere to be found. So that's when the whole trauma started beginning. I was in the house and I was like ready to kill myself by the time I was harassed by this girl, never seeing my husband and not going to know what was going on towards the end. And my kids called me just when I was getting ready to kill myself.
Wow.
And I told them they saved me. They saved me.
Just saying, hey, mom, what you doing?
Yeah. I was like, I don't know, I got to live for them. I don't, whatever he does is whatever. But I tell them, I was like, you are my reason for living. Everything I do, like my kids have gone with me everywhere. My parents had the same. If your kids can't go, then you don't go.
Yeah.
So when I was singing and touring, they went. They was out there selling CDs. Like you see some little babies walking around, that was them. So that's why they're so into business. And see, I got me crying. But yeah,
no. Sis.
that's why they were so into business. But they saved my life. And I try to tell people all the time, if you are struggling, look at your kids. Because if you don't want them to be where you are, then you're gonna get yourself out of that situation. And here I am. I'm the baby I never grew up not having. Because if my parents weren't giving it to me, my brothers were. So to put my children in a predicament where they didn't have, it was horrible. But I did that because I married the wrong person. A person who didn't know the values of being a father and being a husband. So I got from there and I went to my dad and I told him, I was like, I'm ready to accept it all. Whatever it is God wants me to do. And he was like, oh my God, no, not you. Oh my God, I can't deal with it. I don't know. He's crying worse than me. I'm telling y'all, nobody knows that side of my dad. But when it comes to me, he's going to cry. Like,
This is a baby girl.
oh child, when I went to labor with my baby, he was just, oh my God. If you don't sit down, I'm the one. You know, that was him. Even, you know how women have strong cramps? Oh, he would be crying with me. Oh, I'm serious.
Wow.
Yeah, that's Reverend Peterson, y'all. Y'all just don't know that side.
But that's good. That's good. So, I think what kind of scares people that they're kind of in situations that you're in. And for you to turn around with that phone call when the doors were opening up and I'm thinking the doors probably, everything was going on in your mind through this depression and stuff and not knowing what's going on with your husband. You accepted this call and you told him to your father. Then what happened?
He told me this because I didn't, even though I knew ministry, because I would go everywhere. When I said my family was in ministry, were, but if Dad had to go preach at like extra churches, he always had to do 2 or 3 churches in a day. I would be the one with him. Or if he was just going somewhere, I was in the car. So he would be out, you know, write down this. And he would come up with something, write it down. And he never knew then that he would tell me to write down something, but then God was telling me to write something else down.
Feeding it.
So yeah, I was changing your whole sermon. You like, didn't he know? So sorry, Dad.
Now you know.
Sorry. Hope you're not watching this. Thank you. So I knew the whole logistics of it, but it was just the scary part of being the female of the pack, having to come out and do this when I already knew how male ministers were about women ministers.
Oh, especially in Southern Christians, Southern Baptists, it's a hard issue.
It is.
And I think now with several of the women ministers that are coming out, it was still hard for them because as they were married, people would look at them and say, "Oh, your husband's supposed to be doing that," and you just kind of sit there and smile with your big hat on.
Yeah. That's it. Oh, my mom was one of the ones that had the big head on, but I was like, because I know I wasn't gonna be like everybody else. My father wasn't the everybody else preacher. He was the teacher and the person who actually would sit down 3 or 4 days before and just really study whatever God gave him. He was also, like, later on in life, he became a teacher at the university. And when I tell you preparation, like, his students, they know the Bible back and forth. And I'm like, Dad, I know the verse, but I don't know where it came from. He just be looking at me like. So I'm that person. Like, I just feel like I told my dad, I said I'm a different brand. I know the Bible. I know what I'm supposed to do, but I know I'm supposed to reach a whole different crowd for you. And people don't understand, you can't be who everybody wants you to be. And he had to admit the day of my ordination, I tried to make my daughter be who I wanted her to be. He had me teaching for years, and I was miserable getting up. And that was another part of me that had me so miserable, doing a purpose that wasn't my purpose. It was miserable. And when I told him, I was like, I'm going to stop teaching and accept my ministry in media and entertainment and stuff. He was like, girl, what? Because when I went to school for music, he was like, you need to also go to school for education because you're not going to make it.
Wow.
So, I mean, that's a whole part of all of that. Everything, God just doesn't want me to minister. He wanted me to minister through media as well. Because you're not going to reach these youth just ministering to them. And we don't understand that the devil, he uses media. He uses music. He uses all those things to reach people. And we think that it's something simple. But when you learn your ABCs, you learn it through music. You learn your numbers, you're learning it through music. So why would you not learn about God and how to change your life through music or through media? So
through the movies and
Yeah, because a lot of people fail to understand what you listen to. It feeds your body, it feeds your mind, it feeds your soul. And sometimes it controls people's actions.
Yes.
Because a lot of people see the glamour, the woo-ha, the whatever, and then they want to portray it. But if you're feeding with the right thing, with God's word, God's mercy, and his gifts, you're going to give that back out.
Yes.
So whatever you receive, you're going to give it out.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because, like I said, everyone, they think it's such a big change when you say, oh, I'm in ministry, or I'm spreading God's word. But they have to realize that Jesus reached out to the sinners. He reached out to the Gentiles. He wasn't looking for someone that knew all about the church. He wanted to relate to everyone and say, look, I love you all. And we should all love each other.
That's it.
And I don't know where it got to that dysfunction in the church where if you're not from the church or you're not dressed and look the right way, you're not Christian. But you cursing at home when it's not Sunday.
Laying out some good words.
So I mean, I'm excited that you accepted it, but then that you stood up to your dad. That's got to be intimidating.
Sorry, because people that know my brother, if he was to come in here right now, you'd be like this, you'll straighten up. He just has that look. But there's a whole nother side of him that's just like Cosby. He'll show it, but even if you know he has that silly side, you still be like, this for Peterson. So I was like, Dad, I'm sorry. I said I'm sorry like 50 times if I even say it. He was like, what do you got to say? He was like, okay, I know that. I just trying to, I was like, really? So you knew this the whole time? You just been playing with me the whole time?
Just wanted you to speak.
Yeah, pretty much.
Guys, we'll be right back, and we want to speak on what's happening now in Minister TarsaVena's life. We'll be right back.
Join me at Collaborate.
Join me at Collaborate.
Join me and hundreds of women at Collaborate.
Welcome back to Reality Check with the Adolphs.
And on today's episode, we have founder and owner of the OnPoint Network and OnPoint Studios here in Linden, Alabama, Minister Delendra TarsaVena. Did I say it right?
Yes,
is here today, and we spoke about her personal life, her ministry, but now we want to get to her money. So, sis, tell us a little bit about the OnPoint Network, and let's start from the beginning.
Okay.
Where did you come up with that name?
Well, how did I Jesus? I don't remember.
all hang together. Just real. I don't know.
I'm trying to remember. Oh, we were trying to. I was talking about it. Like I've been shipped Market Hill from New York. We were just talking and just every day talking about stuff. And I told him, I said, I think I really want to start a network. And he was like, oh, for real, really? And so I was also in the process. I had just told my dad I wanted to, go into my calling and all of this. And it was like, I was trying to do everything. And it was like, I couldn't understand what was going on. And I was working with another company to start my network. And it was not, well, actually it was going to just be a channel. Mm-hmm. And things weren't going right with them. I had taken my teacher retirement money, and they politely did not give me that money back. So yeah, y'all give my money back, please. But
I think that's the genre of this. You got to give money away, and then all of a sudden be like, oh, I could have did that another way.
So at the same time, when I was, just communicating with Bishop, I met my partner. And it was funny, I had just got on LinkedIn and posted everything, and my partner hit me up. He was like, oh, I see you do music. What kind of music you do? And we ended up talking on the phone, and at the same time, I was still going through my heartbreak, trying to figure out. And he called me, he was like, so yeah, what kind of music? Next thing, I just bust out crying. He was like, oh my God. He was like, you don't want to do music? I was like, yeah. He was like, what's wrong? And so I was telling him about my life, and then I was telling him that people weren't doing what they were supposed to do with the network and everything. He was like, that's okay. He said, for some reason, I just feel the need. Maybe I should just help you get things done. He was like, because I want to do media. He's like, I feel like music and media goes together. I said, of course. So we ended up started working together, and every time we would say something, it was like one of the three of us was always like, yeah, that's on point. And we was like, that's the name of the network.
Because you guys started in 2018.
Yeah, well, we actually started a little before.
Wow.
But it was supposed to be putting our network out, but it didn't happen. But we officially started in 2018.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's good. And we're looking at it, now through the years, but you actually have a lot of people that trusted you with this. How did you come up with the content to put on your network?
Well, it started when I was trying to get the other company. And they were telling me, okay, I wanted a channel. Okay, you're going to have 368 different shows. What? I'm like, are you serious? And I was like, okay, I'm going to do it. So I just started reaching out to people. I was just looking in places and chatting. I was like, okay, I know some people I could ask. So I just started reaching out to different people I knew. And I was like, do you know some people that's doing some shows? I want to put it on my network. They was like, you finna do it, So everybody just started sending people to me.
Wow.
And went from there. And at the same time, we went to the opening where we were getting ready to launch this other network. And I met all these other people who had put money in to start their own TV shows or their channels or networks. And none of that stuff came off the ground for them either. Yeah. So when I started mine, it was like, hey, how did you do that? Some of them did stay with the company, and 2 years later they started theirs after we actually started ours. But one person, Miss Pam Chapman, hey hun, she came to me and she was like, well, how did you start yours? Start mine. And so we just started finding content together. And even now, like I hear something or see somebody online, I'm just reaching out to them. If I see good content, then I'm gonna ask them, hey, what are you doing?
So not only shows, you have movies.
Yes, ma'am. Shout out to North Carolina and South Carolina. They have some amazing content. Those were the first states that really started bringing me movies. Like, they have been working hard.
Wow.
Yeah, and I think it's a good thing because like they work together. It's like a team of maybe 15 people, and they're just writing, but they're also filming with each other. So you'll see each one of them in their own movies and stuff. They're pulling other people, but that to me is an amazing thing.
Yeah,
And
then be in the consistent mode of doing that to have good products.
Yes.
It's not nothing that you see somebody just running down the street and then you kind of see the camera shadow.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm just only speaking the truth. I've seen it before.
Yeah, but they have good content.
Yeah.
They work together, and I don't know if they bought the equipment together or what they did, but they have some amazing content. It just started, like, and even recently, God has just been blowing my mind, because my dad has this thing where every year at Christmas time, he has to give me this advice.
But you sit and listen.
Of course, I'm like, look, you know how you act like you don't pay attention. He knows. If I'm looking at you, I'm not paying attention to you. But if I'm sitting there doing everything else, he knows my mind is listening. I'm not paying attention. So he told me one year, he was like, pray the prayer of Jabez. So I did, but then he gave me this book to read that went along with it. And I said, well, I understand the prayer of Jabez. And I understand why God just kind of threw it in the Bible, because when you look at it, it's like thrown in the Bible. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, okay, God, but I need this prayer to be for me. So I sat down and I wrote down different versions of it, of what I needed. And I put them all over my house. Mm-hmm. And I started praying it wherever I was. I was like, I would stop and pray it. And it seemed like whenever I was going through something, it's in my face. You know? And God just started moving. God started sending people, and he was like, you asked me to enlarge your territory, because I changed it to not just enlarge my territory, but enlarge my business, enlarge my finances, because I have 3 businesses. Enlarge all of them, fix it where I can hire people, just different things, and enlarge the people that are around me, you know, because if you are down and your circle isn't up, you're going to still have problems. Yeah. I want my circle to be up too. I want us all to work together where we can just expand together. So he has been mind-blowingly doing things like that.
Wow, that is awesome. Now you say you have 3 businesses.
Yes, ma'am.
What are they?
Well, we got the OnPoint Network. Well, I started out with home music agency when I was with my second husband. That's where I work with artists, get them prepared, appearances, get them books, different things like that. And then my second business is on OnPoint Network, and my third business with my children, the kitchen, carry out kitchen, where we cook all that food to make people big. Yeah. Food.
We're gonna get you some food, baby.
He's smelling on it.
So you do all of these things, but I've also noticed that because you're a songwriter and a producer and stuff, you do your own movies. Yes,
ma'am. I've been writing since I was little, and actually throughout school it was like a team of us. Especially when we got to high school, we were doing our own plays.
Wow.
Yeah. So like our theater teacher was like, you know what, I'm just gonna sit here.
Let y'all have it.
She was like, I'm tired of y'all. Just do whatever. We would write whole songs to go with the plays and stuff. We would do Black History programs, and they'd be like, oh, that song fire. Yeah, we all wrote it together. You know. Wow. So yeah, we've been doing that for years, and so when I went into it, my dad was like, yeah, I see now. Yeah.
You're reaching them.
Yeah, because I mean, everybody that I worked with in high school, they're already out there. They're in the world, like Benita Washington. She's doing her thing. She's been doing it. And here I am, like, looking at her like, yeah, I should have been doing it too, didn't you? Yeah. She's like, yeah, girl, you need to, yeah. So, I mean, it's hard to start, and it's even hard to continue, but you're never finished.
Yeah.
You know, because you can always pass it on to your kids, or you can pass it on to another person that has that ability. So I always tell people, step out on that faith. I stopped teaching. And can you imagine a person who has a check coming in every month? You know the check's coming in. You don't have to worry about nothing. You got insurance. You don't have to worry about nothing to say, no, I'm just going to stop.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. I stopped, and God has just been opening doors and providing ever since.
Yeah, and that's hard to say. You speak of your children. How old are they now?
Oh, how old are my children? Okay, they 23 and 22. They just had birthdays. I had to think about it, y'all.
So it must be good working with them in, it's called The Kitchen?
Yes, ma'am. My daughter thinks she's the manager. She's always thought she was the manager of everybody anyway. So yeah, so she's the manager. My son and I were the partners in it. And she came in, she was like, oh, y'all don't need to do it like that. He was like, okay. So, but my son just went back to school, and he's actually a manager over there in Walmart where he's at school at. So.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, he comes home and he gets on my nerves. But yeah, they've always been in business.
Well, that's good, because that shows a lot out of your character, that they believe that they're able to do something like that because, hey, mom did it.
Oh,
and
yeah.
mom took care of us, and we still got this, and this is something we want to do.
Mhm.
Because it's hard when you raise children for them to see that's how you do it,
Mhm.
and to have faith to keep doing it.
That's true.
Tell us a little bit more about the kitchen and how we can, do you do catering services as well, or?
Yeah, see, the great thing about the building we're in is that we also rent out the building for little small events and things like that.
Okay.
We're able to cater for people that want to come in if they want to. And we even do cater for people outside the building in the areas. They'll call in and be like, hey, we need about 200 wings. You know, so it's a good thing. You know?
Well, that's it. So can you share with us the contact information for the kitchen?
Yeah. The kitchen is at 1401 North Main Street in Linden. You can reach us on Instagram and Facebook at The Kitchen Linden. Now you gotta put the Linden on the end because we're in the country.
Lindeen.
Yes, ma'am.
And then share with us information on if we're interested in being on the OnPoint Network.
Okay. So I'm gonna coincide Hum Music and OnPoint because they kind of work together.
Okay.
So in casting and stuff like that, we use Hum Music Agency, and you can reach us at Hum Music Agency. It's HUM Hum.
You're so tickled.
Cause people always be like, cause you can be a little country, so your twang make people think they say HIM when I'm saying hum.
Not him.
Exactly.
But hum.
I don't know. I'm be saying no I. Y'all just be acting like I'm country like that. Don't do that. Don't do that. So yeah, we're on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, all that, and then the OnPoint Network is at OnPoint OnPoint Network TV on all media. So yeah. Y'all just laughing.
We're laughing with you.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
So this year you also did some amazing things.
Yes.
You had a Juneteenth celebration and you had an award ceremony. Is that every year? And can you tell us a little bit more about what you do on a yearly basis to recognize the people that's on your network?
Well, actually, this was the first time.
Okay.
We were supposed to do it last year.
COVID
happened. Because I told my partner, I was like, yeah, we're going to do an award show. He was like, you know what, why you always just be coming up with stuff? He was like, we just need to wait for a little while. He said, something keeps telling me to wait. And he was right. It was something that was telling him, and COVID just, boom, popped in. But this year was the first year that we actually did the award show. And people think that I nominated me, but no, I didn't nominate nobody. Okay?
Get that out your head and don't be blaming me.
Exactly. I set it up where anybody could nominate. Anybody. So, hey, if you didn't nominate, I'm sorry. But I had nothing to do with that. So it's just, people were like, oh, they nominated that. Like one person asked me, they was like, why they nominated that book? I don't know. Maybe they liked it. And they was like, I got 5 more books that one of them is a bestseller. I don't know.
Was it the one that got nominated?
Yeah. So, but the whole goal, my partner and I talked, he was like, well, next year we're going to do it at the Fox Theater. I'm like, okay, that's what God's telling you. He was like, nah, that's what we're going to do. I said, okay, well, watch, we're going to wait to see what God said.
Well, it was an outstanding program.
Mhm.
We had a lot of people there.
Yes.
And we was just blessed that we were a part of it. So, and I mean, it's just, God is doing so many amazing things for you. What else are you doing in giving back with the community?
Oh, we're doing a lot of different things. We try to have different programs. Like, we have the Juneteenth where we gave away bags to the youth. We had partnership with the libraries in the area that are giving out to the children. We're getting ready to do more programs with the churches in the area where they're going to come to the studio, and then we're going to go out and do things with them as far as doing car checks for women that don't have a husband or a boyfriend that checks their car. Because you got to get to work.
Yeah,
you know. Then we're also going to try to do things with women ministries where we help young mothers to try to help keep their children while they work. Not while you go out, so don't try that. But you know,
well, you might need to do that every once in a while. Mother's night out once a month.
I do. That's my way.
You know, sometimes that's like more meaningful too. They need some peace of mind, especially single moms out there. A single dad too.
No,
there are some single dads.
When you talk about peace of mind, and you look at me to my peace of mind.
Well, no, I'm just saying. You know, sometimes we centered.
Hey.
It's just Woosah. You say that all the time.
Why you say Woosah? You sound like you said Mufasa.
I just have to keep.
Just
add on to it. You gotta be different.
Okay. But yeah, I do plan on doing some. I've been talking to some people in my area that do chiropractic work and they do massages, lashes, nails, and things. And I wanted to do it during COVID, and I was like, no, I'm gonna wait. But I'm getting ready to actually do a girls' night out where we're gonna just paint and tip, and while we're painting and tipping, you can get your massage on, you can get your toes done, your nails done, and just chill. And what happens there, you know, like what happens, but what's said there stays there, you know, because sometimes you just gotta vent, or sometimes you just need some advice, and you don't want anybody to know what's going on. So yeah we want to do that too.
That's awesome. Well, do you have any questions there?
No. Last time I said something, I'll go over the edge.
Talking about your woosah?
Yes.
Well, we really appreciate your time.
Yes.
We know you're a busy woman.
Yes,
we want to personally thank you for what you do in the community and what you're doing all over, because we're in Texas and you're seeing people from Texas, North Carolina, I'm sure other states, and even other countries are sending you content for your network, meaning that God is just showing your network everywhere.
Yes, ma'am.
Where people are being blessed by your ministry in media. So Dad, keep supporting her. She knows what she's doing.
He'll probably like...
And on that note,
he'll still do it though.
We'll be right back after this commercial.
Hey guys, I am searching everywhere trying to find some homes for our buyers. I had to dress up and get camouflage, and maybe I can sneak up on a home or two and maybe find something, that perfect home. You know, going through different areas, different towns, different communities, there is something out there for you. We just have to be the ones to continue to look. Inventory is low, but it's not gone. Even for new home builders, inventory is still low. It's pretty tight with the land and then the homes. Uh-oh, I think I see something. Oh, I see somebody building. I tell you what, let's go. Let's see what it looks like over there. Oh, I can't let them see me, because if they see me, they're gonna sell the house, and then there's not gonna be another one for a while. All right, let's see how this goes. Hey, so I run over here, and they're actually building. Oh, this one's gonna be on the lake. There gotta be some more homes around here somewhere that they're building. I think I see, I see somebody. Maybe they can help me. Man, I just seen you trying to sell this home. Is it?
No, I'm sorry. I just sold it.
Oh, man. Is there another one that we can look at?
I got another one for you. Follow me. Hey, here it is. Come on, follow me. Come take a look at this beauty.
Oh, man. Just the openness already excites me.
This is our Redford plan. This is 4 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, with an entertainment room and a game room, and a huge Texas-sized patio.
Ooh, man, we got to take a peek at this. We're going to look out the window. Because if I go outside, I'm going to fall in love, look for the barbecue pit. Man, this is awesome. Thank you. And you said this is 4 bedrooms?
4 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms.
And 4 baths. Wow. Guys, we better jump on this right away. You can contact Kim.
Come see me.
Or you can contact Willie Adolph at the Adolph Group at Equity House Properties. And remember, you got Will, you got a way. My name is Will. See you at the next house.
Welcome back to Reality Check with the Adolphs.
And today's episode was really good. We learned a lot about Minister TarsaVena and about how she grew up, how she accepted her calling, and how she's helping others.
Yeah, and and all the names of different groups and different places. It's interesting. Never give up on your dream.
Yeah.
Never let someone take your dream from you. Everybody wants you to be something, but God has something just for you.
And He's waiting for you. I think that's the amazing thing about our God. He's waiting for you. He already has these plans and things in place for you that you thought that you've messed up or you didn't follow the right path, that it's never going to happen. When in actuality, God allowed you to go through that path so you have a bigger testimony to tell you when everything happens. Because the victory, a lot of people think that victory is just given to them. It's earned.
It is.
And when you have the victory and you can say, no, it's because of God this stuff happens, then that's it.
Yeah.
That's bringing other people to you because they're watching your actions.
Right, because it's like you said earlier, God allows things to happen because He's pushing you to what your purpose is.
We've heard that several times. Guys, thank you so much for watching us this week, and especially this special episode with the OnPoint Network. And we appreciate you. We love you more. Thank you for watching Reality Check with the Adolphs.